Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about our predictions on who will win the 2020 NBA Finals. Before we start this video, be sure to drop a like and leave a comment below. If you like what you see, consider subscribing so you don't miss any new videos. Without further ado, let's get into the video. After landing the #1 pick in the NBA draft, the New Orleans Pelicans saw the biggest odds jump. However, after the Lakers traded for Anthony Davis, they were hoping Kawhi Leonard would follow. The Clippers stayed calm and collected, swooping in to get him and Paul George, making them the overall favorites. Agree? Well, with that said, here is who will win the 2020 NBA Finals. Number 1. Will there be a final? After the coronavirus pandemic halted the 2020 NBA schedule on March 11th, the league is set to resume play on July 31st with 22 teams returning to the court for a shortened season at the Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando. Under the plan, the 16 teams currently in the 2020 NBA playoff bracket will be joined by New Orleans, Portland, Phoenix, Sacramento, San Antonio, and Washington, and play 8 regular season seeding games, a possible play-in tournament for the 8th seed, and the playoffs. It all takes place at the Walt Disney World Resort, with the season ending in October. Number 2, the Clippers get their man. It was a Friday night and the California earthquakes were not just done yet when an atomic bomb dropped out of nowhere. Paul George was traded to the Los Angeles Clippers, which brought Kawhi Leonard to sign for the next 4 years. While the Clippers gave up an absurd amount of picks for Danilo Gallinari and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they still retain a strong starting 5 around them and a good bench. They also have Doc Rivers as their head coach. Ladies and gentlemen, the Clippers are now overall favorites to win the NBA next season. This left the Lakers scrambling as they had 1 max slot's worth of money and needed to fill out their roster with whatever was left. Of course, LeBron James and Anthony Davis are a great duo, but the Clippers' moves knocked them down to the second best odds to win it all. This was a major shakeup in the Western Conference, and the battle for LA will begin soon. Outside of the Los Angeles teams, Golden State, Houston, Denver, and Utah have the next best odds to win it all. The West looks to be a bloodbath at the moment, as they currently have 7 of the 12 top teams in terms of odds. Number 3, Beasts in the East. The Eastern Conference just got a little easier to get through now that Kawhi Leonard is out of Toronto, and the Raptors were inside the top 5 in odds to win it all, and then dropped outside of the top 10. What's even keeping them in the top 12 is the fact that the Eastern Conference is weakened. The Bucks are leading the men in the Eastern Conference, sitting outside of the Los Angeles teams with the best chance to win it all. Getting most of their roster back and having one of the best players on the planet is certainly a plus. The 76ers and Boston Celtics are next in line in terms of odds, although the Celtics are a big mystery right now after losing both Kyrie Irving and Al Horford. They did bring in Kemba Walker, but this young group, plus Kemba, doesn't look anywhere near the other teams in the league. The 76ers saw Jimmy Butler walk, but brought in Al Horford, which was quite a surprise. With an easier conference to get through, it makes sense why they are at these odds. Brooklyn is at plus 210 to win it all. This is just outside the top 12 teams. Year 1 of the Durant and Irving era will have to wait as Durant rehabs. Next year, we should see the bump in odds for Brooklyn. Overall, they should still make a playoff run and push a top-tier Eastern team. Number 4, Best Emerging Players. Although we do not know what it takes to win the title in a bubble, could we see a team built in the mold of the 2004 Pistons win in Orlando, where health looms large and depth could be key? Our circle then expands to the Philadelphia 76ers and Boston Celtics, whose starting lineups are rife with star-caliber players, headed by Joel Embiid and Jason Tatum respectively, both flashing future MVP potential. Considering how well the Raptors have rebounded from losing Leonard, we should include them as well. They still feature a pair of 2020 All-Stars and former Defensive Player of the Year Marc Gasol atop a loaded rotation, although I'm not sure Pascal Siakam has the ability to reach that highest level. The Miami Heat, led by All-Stars Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, exist in that same space. The Utah Jazz might have too had they not lost Bogdan Bogdanovic to a season-ending surgery. If we want to consider teams with players who could potentially join that MVP conversation, then Luka Doncic's Dallas Mavericks and Nikola Jokic's Denver Nuggets enter the fray. Duncan had not yet won an MVP where he led San Antonio to the 1999 title in a lockout-shortened season. Could Doncic do the same in a stop-and-start season? Keep in mind these Spurs also started David Robinson, 4 years removed from his MVP champion. I'm not sure that Kristaps Porzingis and Jamal Murray are comparable co-stars, although Porzingis was in that stratosphere before his knee injury. And that brings us to who will win the title. The Bucks are favored with a plus 240 odd at FanDuel Sportsbook, but even with the Lakers at plus 250 according to DK. The Eastern Conference is strong at the top, but there's no denying that the bottom 4 seeds are weaker. The bottom 4 seeds are weaker than in the WCF, giving the Bucks a clearer path to the finals. Milwaukee has been historically dominant this year with a league-best 16.7 net rating and the best offensive and defensive rating. They opened the season with a plus 550 odds to win the title and have risen to the top after an incredible regular season. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.